Hi there. That's about the best intro I could come up with. Uh, I'll come up with a better one later. So I'm really glad this is my first review, because the first review I had planned was for a book I didn't care for, and that would have sucked. So this book I like a lot. I highly recommend that you buy it. It's a lot of fun. It looks great. But now we're going to get into it. So this is called The Chenoo. It's by Mr. Graham Nolan, co-creator of Bane. He's one of Bane's two daddies, and this is his independent venture. We can see here the cover quality is fantastic. These blood splatters actually have their own texture. This is a great looking book, front and back, and it's going to look nice on your shelf when you have a couple of other Graham Nolan books lined up with it, which we'll get into in a little bit. So it's called The Chenoo. It's based loosely on this myth. I think it has Micmac origin, of a creature that does something it's a creature that used to be a guy who does something so despicable that he becomes this lumbering beast that starts to eat people. Graham Nolan kind of came up with the idea for a monster comic book and did a Wikipedia search and found The Chenoo, and he was like, oh, perfect fit. So I like to show basically what the Indiegogo campaign shows, plus a few other pages. I don't want to give too much away. But as we can see, it's all black and white, except for the sections where people get iced. Once there's blood involved, you get that blood red splatter. It's very simple. It's something that if you sent somebody an email saying, hey, make everything black and white except the blood, it's a very easy request, but it works to great effect here. Graham Nolan's not trying to, put anything crazy in this book either. He's like, these are fishermen, so they talk about ice fishing. That's about it. Dialogue's not too complicated, and I kind of like that. You have this snow plowman. He talks about plowing snow until he comes across this hair on his plow, and bleh, look at that. Oh, the viscera's awesome. And you get, I think, like a bit of bone back there, some vertebrae, but it looks great as it's being ripped apart. Fantastic job. And like I said, look at that splatter. It's awesome. As I understand, he did it all digital. There's only one actual hand-drawn page of the Chenoo, and that's already been sold. Anyway, so yeah, look, again, you have a waitress, looks pretty, and you have a truck driver. So they talk about, working in a diner and driving a truck. It's not trying to be overcomplicated, but you get a feel for these people in this town and what they do. So basically the story, it starts with this sort of slasher thriller, like, where are these bodies coming from? Who is killing it? Is it man or beast? But it turns into a Dawn of the Dead scenario where they hide out in this perfectly drawn house. Look at that. And the story sort of becomes, what do we do now? Okay, there's another obstacle. We have to adjust to that obstacle, sort of thing. And it works very well. It's very fast-paced. You will read this book relatively quickly, and that's a good thing, because I want to see what's next in the page. I love this page, and I was trying to find what this reminded me of. At first I thought, like, Saga of the Swamp Thing, but I couldn't find a page quite like this. But this is where they talk about the lore of the Chenoo. According to native lore, the Chenoo was once a man who scarred his soul so badly, usually because of cannibalism, that he would be forever cursed. He lost the warmth of humanity and became a creature of the snow and ice who would feed on the hearts of man in a vain attempt to reclaim the warmth he could never have. I love the shading on this face. I love that everything about the Chenoo's lore is discussed in the frame of the Chenoo itself, with these big red glowing eyes, this maw that doesn't have a bottom jaw, so it's kind of like bottomless or something like that. I love this page so much. And this guy made me laugh. For reasons I won't go into. Yeah, so this book's awesome. If you follow Graham Nolan, which you should look at his YouTube channel, you'll know what his inspiration behind the Chenoo kind of was, like, as far as the design goes, like, obviously black and white, a lot of snow. It's kind of reminiscent of The Thing from Another World. It's a film that he loves. And these, I don't know, these glassy eyes, they remind me of the beast from This Island Earth, that big old bug monster. This whole design, it could easily be like a movie monster from a black and white film, because it's a big old suit. It's got this jaw that's constantly open, and these two big glassy eyes that don't require, any pupils to be looking around. I mean, it's a perfect movie monster design. So I see the inspiration. I like it quite a bit. It's a great monster design. It's a good book. Now, Graham Nolan actually has a Nolan-verse he's putting together. This is his next project, Alien Alamo. And it's funding right now. It's doing really well. And I highly recommend that you jump on this. You can get a copy of the Chenoo on that. And apparently you can also get it from his website, Compass Comics. I highly recommend you get it. Like I said, this book it's nice and thin. It'll look good on your shelf, but it'll look great with a bunch of other Graham Nolan books. So get it while it's good. Alien Alamo, at least the landscape, kind of reminds me of Tremors. But according to something he said in a live stream earlier, it's where the similarities stop. Check out that Indiegogo. It's great. In the meantime, find me, follow me, like and subscribe. Donate if you can, and hasta luego.